Everybody keeps staring at the main monster, like that's the whole story. But bro, that's just the visible tip of the iceberg. The part we're supposed to look at because it's easy. The part nobody wants to talk about, the devil's helpers. The people who make the monster's life convenient. Because let me tell you something simple. A monster can't run a whole network alone. A monster needs people who find the food, take the food, bring the food, cook the food, and then clock out as if nothing happened and go home like a normal person. That's the part that messes with your head, right? Because it means the most terrifying people don't show up looking like movie villains. They look like workers, like regular humans. And that's why the media loves the easy version. They keep shoving the same famous criminals into our faces over and over because it gets clicks. But why are we always talking about the monsters we already know instead of the helpers who gave them the chance to do it? Because if we talk about the helpers, it gets uncomfortable. It gets personal. Because what if the helper is just somebody's neighbor, yours, mine? Now, before anyone starts screaming at me, no, I'm not doing conspiracy fanfic. I'm doing logic. Because evil at that scale doesn't happen with one guy in a cape. It happens with a system. And the system always has employees. And then you see clips. You've seen them. A woman in a clip says insane, nightmare-level stuff. Even mentions cannibal-type allegations. Am I telling you that's proven? No. I'm telling you, when the conversation is even this dark, the vibe is already rotten. Because the baseline reality, kids being exploited, is already horrifying enough. And then you get some politicians doing the weirdest tap dance. Like saying, stop attacking pedos? Bro, are you okay? What do you want us to say? Hey, pedo, how's the day going? Good predation today? Or I respect your orientation, you can't control it. Jerk. No. And here's where I'm gonna say it in the most disrespectful way possible because it deserves it. You know how to become a big man in this world? Not by being talented, not by being good. Step 1, be untouchable. Step 2, be a pedo and an agent and have an island. Cameras too. Don't forget the cameras. Step 3, have people around you who do your dirty work for you. That's it. Congratulations. You're a big man. And yeah, a famous genius in a wheelchair. People get weird when you even imply that name, like you kicked a sacred statue. But bro, some people become big men without even standing up, respected to the end, and then after they're gone, people pretend they never saw the smoke. And if you're ambitious enough, you can succeed that way too, because apparently he could make it into those rooms in that condition, which tells you how powerful the invitation is and how dirty the guest list can be. And before someone twists that, I'm not saying I know everything. I'm saying stop treating famous, brilliant people like they're automatically clean. Genius doesn't sanitize you, it just makes people excuse you. Now, back to the real point, because the monsters are the headline, but the helpers are the machine. Have you ever seen the helpers? Do you know their names? Where they live? What job they do now? Which country they're in? Maybe it's literally somebody around us. While I was doing my research, I kept coming across something out of Turkey after the massive earthquake on February 6th. Hopefully you never have to live through something like that again. It was horrifying. And in that chaos, one of the things people were talking about was this: missing children. I saw it. I saw it being discussed in the news. I saw people warning each other all over social media. Even some politicians came out saying stuff like, watch your kids, be careful. And bro, just think about that for a second. You're already trying to survive a disaster, and then you lose your child. And then that child doesn't just go missing, they get pulled into something darker. For money, status, protection, power, which one of those is worth a child's life? That's the danger. That's the real danger. Because staring at one dead bad guy is easy. It's simple. It gives people that fake closure feeling, but it doesn't fix the system. And you know what's actually nauseating? Evil at this scale isn't a one-man show. It's a mechanism. And the mechanism works like this: trap important people, record it, then buy their silence. So when people say, it's over, I only think one thing: the devil's helpers are still outside. If the monsters are sick, the helpers are sick too. If the monsters are demons, the helpers are demons too. And the worst part is, we don't fully know who they are, and that shouldn't let you sleep. Not who was on the list. The real question is, who's still keeping the kitchen open? Because a monster doesn't need a supercomputer. A monster needs access. And access gets prepared by people who look normal. So yeah, here's my actual question. Not for drama, for real life. Monsters are loud. Everyone points at them. Everyone makes the list. But the devil's helpers? They're quiet. They blend in. So the real question isn't, how did this happen? It's, how many people watched the door close and chose to lock it from the outside? Because if evil needs a supply chain and somebody is running delivery, then the island was never the problem. The system is. And until the helpers get dragged into the light, this story doesn't end. It just changes location.